Nottingham Trent University, working with you. Proud sponsors of Working Week.
On Working Week this week.
We'll be meeting the Nottingham firm that makes outdoor sports clothing, which is growing pretty fast.
We're introduced to the first enterprise business agency by a bank, and they spoke to us, they recommended us as a source of finance, and I looked on their website and saw that what they offered was just what we needed.
And I'll be meeting a group of pensioners that prove that being 65 ain't no age to slouch at.
And one of them gets a bit fruity with you, if I remember rightly.
I enjoyed it as well.
Well, very often they think once you get to 65 or 60 that you're brain dead. And once you get to be a pensioner, you need looking after, which is a load of nonsense.
It's a bit cold today, Rob. I think it's about -2.
Yeah, but good weather if you happen to make outdoor clothing, and that's exactly what one Nottingham firm has been doing, and it's growing fast as a result. Helen McCulloch has been along to take a look.
It's not often you hear of a company trying not to get to the top, particularly one that specialises in climbing equipment.
It's about the DNA of the company and really what sets us apart. So we're not setting out to be the biggest company, we're not setting out to sponsor the biggest athletes, but what we all do is we all love the products and we all love using the products, and that's something that really comes through everywhere.
The founders of Alpkit have turned their hobby into a growing business, with more products regularly being added to their range.
So Nick, these bags look pretty nifty. How do they work?
So this is a custom-made frame bag that we make in the factory, and the customers send in a cardboard template, like the one that we've got behind on this bike, and basically we cut out according to the customer instructions and then make it to fit their frame, which is quite different than traditional bike touring, which would normally use large panniers on the side. This makes use of the triangle inside the bike, so it doesn't get knocked off if you're going through woods and branches and things like that.
So you clearly have a passion for the outdoors. Does that help the business succeed?
Absolutely. I mean, I think the customers really appreciate that when they ring up and they know the people who are actually active in the outdoors and have a passion for it. And that also goes through to the product, that if we weren't interested in that product, then why would a customer be interested? And one of our measures of whether a product is going to be successful is if we want to buy it, then the customer's going to love that as well.
Based in Newthorpe, Alpkit develop and even manufacture some of their products here, and then sell them from the showroom or online.
So what's this that's been worked on here?
So this is going to be our new range that we're going to start this spring-summer. Basically, it's a range of UK-made specialist climbing sacks, which it doesn't look like at the moment, because that's just a great pink rucksack. But what we're doing now is we're looking at the fabric, the efficiency from cutting, so Ben's doing all kind of measuring out, and then we're seeing how much of that fabric is taken up in its consumption. And then this is a kind of prototype back panel. So these are pre-made components that all get pieced together, and this would then create the back system for this. So when you put those two items together, hey presto, you've got a rucksack.
So this is sort of research and development stage.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a key part to make sure that we can actually make these products in the UK, to run through it, to kind of demo everything up, and then see whether the costings work out.
And where is your market? Do you sell globally?
We do. We sell to, I think the last count we sold to 47 countries, and that's a whole range of products. But probably the bike luggage, the specialist products that we make here, they're probably the ones that have the biggest reach.
The company have been able to plan for future growth, following a successful bid for finance from the First Enterprise Business Agency.
We're introduced to the first enterprise business agency by a bank, and they spoke to us, they recommended us as a source of finance, and I looked on their website and saw that what they offered was just what we needed. Gave them a call, and literally in a day or so they introduced us to an advisor, and the whole process was really quick. They came out here, the advisor came out here, we put forward our business plan, and literally within 2 weeks we were up in front of the panel. And we had the positive answer within 24 hours from that. So the process was really, really easy. The amount of money they talked about has really helped us a lot, and I'd recommend it to anybody, really.
So from just going on the website to getting the money,
It was about a fortnight altogether. And that compares to a bank where you go through credit approval, the legal documentation, and all of that is a process that was very straightforward. And what was really helpful actually was the advisor who came out and helped us with the business plan, and she challenged the business plan. And overall, you know, we ended up successful in getting the money. And it's also helped us look forward. So we've got our Big Shakeout Festival in September, and this is a festival that we've run for the past 3 or 4 years. We didn't run it last year because of the cash requirement to underwrite it. And it's a great festival where we get 500 people, families, to come to the Peak District, to Thornbridge Outdoors. And then at Thornbridge we have bands playing in the evening, food put on, and also activities from mountain biking to climbing, caving. So it's a great festival.
it seems to tap into the passion that I've felt from everybody at the business here for the outdoors.
Yeah, well, we're all outdoor enthusiasts, you know, and we all love the outdoors, and it's about getting out there and enjoying it, really, rather than anything else.
It's one of over 100 companies FIBA have been able to finance in the last year alone. Since April, they've given out loans of over £2.5 million.
We are happy to talk to and help any business that is looking for finance, right the way from small businesses that want a small amount of money that are starting, to larger cases, existing businesses that's been maybe been trading for many years, but are looking for finance to expand.
So why should businesses come to you and not the bank?
We're happy to talk to clients that have not been successful with high street lending, and we will look at the whole proposition. We don't do any form of credit assessment, credit scoring for the loans. We will view that application based on the strength of the case that we've got in front of us. So we will look at other things that a standard bank a standard bank credit score will not look at, and we hope that we can support more businesses that don't get successful when they go and visit the high street lenders. We started just over 25 years ago, so we celebrated our 25th anniversary last October. And it was set up by the local authority following the riots back in Nottingham 25 years ago. And the agency was started as a BME agency to support ethnic minority people to try and get them into employment. And we've evolved thereafter and predominantly do a majority of our business is finance these days.
FIBA are looking to help other businesses in Nottingham. You can find out more via their website.
Now, many people think that when you reach retirement age, it's when you should give up. I really enjoyed filming this, Rob. I've been out to meet a group of pensioners that are proving the exact opposite.
Now, I'm just laughing because I've never actually been in a link before where we're interrupted by the sound of someone sandpapering. Yeah.
It's time to throw away your idea of what pensioners can do. The Nottingham Elders Forum has been set up to promote interests of our older people. Today, they're staging a panto at the Bonington Theatre in Arnold. They reckon society's overlooking the huge contribution that pensioners make.
I think pensioners have an awful lot to offer. Pensioners do most of the caring, pensioners do, and they do most of the volunteering. Without volunteers, without pensioners volunteering, this country would be in a dreadful mess.
But there's more to the campaign. These are an active bunch. They have weekly dances, day trips, and they've even been to the European Parliament. But they reckon that back home, businesses are missing out on the spending power of pensioners.
We've got lots of things to offer business. If pensioners didn't go out and go on day trips and go to things like this and go all over, during the day, businesses would close down, and because people, when they're working, they only go out at the weekends, and it's the pensioners that keeps businesses and cafes and everything else going during the week.
But it's not just spending power. Glenys reckons that businesses could benefit from using the work ethic of older people and adding them to their workforce.
We've always been brought up to work. I mean, you took a pride in your work. You didn't just go there for the money. You went there because you was proud of what you was doing, and it didn't matter what job you did. You were proud and you put your best into it, and that's how we've all been brought up.
Do you think you could teach the younger people a thing or two?
But they can teach us a thing or two. Very often we have some youngsters come into the office because we have an office open every day of the week, and we get some of the young ones from the universities and that come in, and they can surely teach us a thing or two.
And that idea that they still have something to offer is a view backed by the people visiting here. Do you think that people are right to say when you're 65, you're pretty much cut away from the job scene?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not, no.
So you think there's a lot of life left for people?
Absolutely. And they're more reliable. The older are more reliable.
If you're still healthy and your brain is still very active, what's stopping you working? Nothing really. A lot of businesses now, especially if they've got a young staff, they probably don't want an older person there.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it true you're as young as you feel?
Oh, it depends on the man you're feeling.
Oh, crikey. Grab hold of me, then.
Oh, you really would make me feel young.
When it comes to working life after the age of 65, what are your thoughts on that?
If you want to do it. Somebody will employ you. If you don't want to do it, enjoy your retirement. It's your last chance.
Told you they were a lively bunch, and if this group of pensioners have their way, we'll all be taking notice of the power of pensioners in our shops and in our workforce.
That was a great report, and what I loved most of all about that report, Des, and I haven't told you I'm going to do this, was your little glasses.
What, mate? What, mate?
Your Larry Grayson glasses, look at that. I like it.
Yeah, you look like the mafia.
Yeah, tell them what we've got coming up in the second half.
The Lost City. This is a golf course. It's an adventure golf course in Nottingham.
Nottingham Trent University, proud sponsors of Working Week. Nottingham Trent University, proud sponsors of Working Week.
Welcome back to Working Week. In this half,
I'll be having a golfing adventure, but in the middle of Nottingham. Oh, took his time on that one. No! Very well done, mate. Good for you. And we'll also be meeting the Long Eaton Company, Rob, that believes in overpaying its staff and treating them well.
You create a collective of human resources, which we call a business, and why not reward the people correctly? You know, why not bring their families and their living conditions up to a decent level that we should have?
all that to come, but first you've been playing golf.
I certainly have. Watch my swing.
Yeah. Wouldn't get very far doing that because you've got these glasses, haven't you? It's a bit of a problem with these glasses.
Rubbish. Anyway, 4. It looks like we're on the set of an Indiana Jones movie, but we're not. Although I am at the Lost City. It's adventure golf. That's what we're talking about. I'm here to meet the owner, Lane Scott. Lane, how you doing?
Not bad, Des. How's it going?
Not too bad. Let's have a play, eh?
Let's bring it on.
Now, I like a game of golf myself, but it turns out that Lane's a bit of an expert. He's also a keen businessman. Lost City was his idea, and since he's raised the cash to open it, he hasn't looked back.
It's 2 18-hole indoor courses of adventure golf. It's for anyone from 3 to 103.
So what gave you the idea?
I played an adventure golf course at home, really enjoyed it. People were having fun and laughing, and I thought I'd like the idea, so I looked into it and gave it a go.
It's easy to say that. I'm getting the finances and getting the structure in place.
It took a long time. It did take a while to get it all together, but once you show it to the bank manager, yeah, it took a while to get it together, but we got there eventually.
How long have you been open?
We've been open for a year and 4 months, so it's going well. Everyone, the people of Nottingham really have taken to it, so it's good fun.
What about when the weather's good outside? Because you're underground, aren't you? I mean, you're actually literally underneath the ground.
We are underneath the corner house. When the weather's hot outside, it's actually beneficial sometimes because when it's really hot outside, people come in here to the air conditioning to cool off as well.
The course is continually improving. New additions include some very lifelike animatronics.
It is like a film set. We've actually had our special effects designer is from Orlando. He's worked on so many films, Star Wars, etc. The list is endless, so it's, you know, good effects.
And not only that, you've brought in animatronics from overseas.
Yeah, we've brought in a 7-foot alligator and a 23-foot animatronic python. And they're brilliant. The jaw moves, the eyes move, and the face moves. So really good to put. Everyone's liked it.
What's it like setting a place like this up?
It's quite difficult. It does take time. It's a lot of time and patience and hard work and a lot of begging for money as well to try and, get enough money to fund it, because it's not cheap really to set it up.
Whoa! So you got thunder, you got lightning, you got giant snakes, crocodiles. You've got everything going on.
Yeah, it's got to keep people active. It's good. Yeah.
The beautiful thing about this place, it's just very family orientated, isn't it?
It is very family orientated on the weekends, but it's also great because we've got the bar as well for stag do's, hen do's, groups of people our age going out to play and have a bit of fun. Yeah. And lots of groups of women as well. It's open for everyone and anyone. It's a good new thing in Nottingham to do. It's not a bar. It's not completely a bar. There's a lot of bars in Nottingham, so it's not completely a bar you can get drunk at. It's an active experience as well. So it's trying to keep the pounds off as well. Yeah. So you're doing something that's fun, enjoyable, and everyone gets enjoyed. You can either go ice skating, to the bowling alley, or the cinema, or adventure golf. Yeah. If you want to do something different, adventure golf is the thing to try.
And of course, after a game of golf, it's time for the 19th hole.
Thanks. Cheers, Lane.
Cheers, Des.
So people can have a beer up here?
Have a beer and then go downstairs and play the other course.
Should we go and do that now?
Let's do it now.
I feel like I'm going into the bowels of the earth. How big is this place?
It's quite big. It's 15,000 square foot.
Yeah, downstairs?
Downstairs 15, upstairs it's 3,000 square foot.
That's absolutely huge.
Yeah, no, it's a big space.
Both courses are open every day until 11 at night, and Lane is still looking to improve the experience.
You shouldn't be allowed out with a golf club.
So Lane, what are your future plans then?
Well, the future plans, we want to make here better and put in new animatronic animals and alligators and snakes and things like that. So it's just improve here. We also want to put in a new bar upstairs, which is going to be a Polynesian tiki style bar that'll be well lit, and it'll be something else.
Where do you get these ideas from? I mean, for the bar, for instance, and where do you source those animatronics from?
Well, the animatronics, the animals have actually come from China. I was at a show in Amsterdam called the IAPA show, which is the International Association of Amusement Parks. And then I found this good company who got the animatronics. The upstairs bar we found from, well, we researched it. We went to a lot of tiki bars in London, Birmingham, Manchester. I found a company in London called Tiki Tiki who are going to come in and put in a new bar.
I tell you what, mate, have you lost any kids in there?
Oh, just a couple, but we won't talk about that now.
What's this, mate? Look, straight in.
Oh,
magic! Great. The only thing left to say is if you want to have a great time, pop down. It's a corner house, the Lost City Adventure Golf. Lane, over to you.
Come down, I'd love to have you come and see it.
What shops would you like to see in Nottingham?
Now, that's a good question. A few more pubs.
Yeah. From a great Scottish lad as well. A few more pubs.
Scottish? You're insulting me now.
I know, you're not Scottish, mate.
I seem to struggle when I'm looking around, whether it's Victoria Centre or down to Broadmarsh, for just trousers, jeans and footwear, to be honest.
A shop where you can walk in and have a glass of red wine.
Yeah.
And then pick up some underwear, have another red wine.
Oh, wow.
And cheapest, and it's free. It's got to be free.
Oh, yeah, you
I don't have to pay. I don't have to pay for my clothes.
Okay. Yeah. So, do you think that sort of shop could happen?
No. Do you?
No,
let me ask you. Do you think it would?
That sort of shop? Yeah, I think that should. I think it's down to how people use their imagination. Do you know what I mean?
A shop sells cheap trainers and cheap clothes and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, like, at the end of the day, in this day and age, and that, do you know what I mean? Everyone's struggling. I mean, obviously the price of living's at the roof and that, do you know what I mean? Probably as you know. Like at the end of the day and that, do you know what I mean? Obviously, like, we all like to be able to afford things, don't we?
A dog-friendly shop in the centre of town where you can take your dogs and they have bowls of water and toys for them, like a soft play area for dogs. Because I have an assistance dog who's not with me today, but and that would be if anything, that would be the ideal place to kind of take him.
That's a fantastic idea. And out of all the people I've asked, nobody has said that. But we are a nation of dog lovers, aren't we?
Yes.
So you're saying when it comes to shopability, Nottingham is lacking?
Definitely. Are you joking? Of course. No. Of course. Yeah, it's definitely lacking.
Okay. And would you agree?
I wouldn't be so blunt, but maybe, yeah, a bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fresh Logistics. Yeah. I love this one, actually. It's a company that overpays its staff, treats them well, and gives them a living wage. You're going to love this.
We've all heard of the minimum wage, a figure that employers legally have to pay. That's set at £6.50 an hour. But there are growing calls for people to pay a living wage. That's reckoned to be £7.85 an hour. Many councils and public bodies around here are doing just that, but not many private employers. Only a handful are registered with the Living Wage Foundation, and one of them is Fresh Logistics, a transport firm in Long Eaton.
We pay the living wage in the area, which is substantially more than the minimal national wage. And the reason we pay that is to increase our staff retention, staff efficiency and training, to attract the new staff to the business, and we took a decision to be in the upper quartile for salaries and pays, which makes us the employer of choice.
It's an industry notorious for low pay, but Alan has been determined to give his staff a fair wage from the moment he started the business 6 years ago. But how can they afford it?
It's really how you gear your business. So we have a pot of overhead, and what do we apportion to labour, what do we apportion to marketing and other expenditure. We then cost it and plan it within the business year on year. And then we find that we gain efficiencies within the business because we have motivated people that we retain. We don't have to retrain every 6 months, and we don't have this churn that most businesses have because we're paying people the living wage.
It has benefits too. The firm's been growing at 240% a year since it started, and turnover is about to reach £2.5 million.
By looking after the guys, they bring a tangible benefit back to the company. They look after us, they promote our message, they react well with the customers, and the vast majority of our face-to-face actions with our customers come from our drivers. So having them on message and supporting the company is a very beneficial thing to us.
Poverty in the UK is madness for someone who works full-time for their toil and labour, and the rewards aren't suitable to keep them away from the breadline. I mean, it's bonkers. You know, as a collective of businessmen, we should be saying to the UK, the employees of the UK, work hard, we reward you.
But what does it all mean for the workers? Steph Proudlove knows all about the difference between the minimum wage and the living wage. He's worked for employers paying the legal minimum before. His new company's policy is a godsend.
The difference it's made is incredible. Being able to travel to work, being able to go out for meals whilst you're at work. You know, you're not watching the pennies as much, and at the end of the working week, you know you've got savings which are waiting for you in the bank.
With a shelf full of awards for their approach to business, and with the company growing fast, Fresh Logistics is out to prove that paying workers well can pay dividends for businesses too.
Well, that's it for now, and we've had a great time actually filming outside St Mary's Church.
I'm just working something out actually. All the locations we've been at, we've just walked around this place, Widdershins, you know that phrase? Anti-clockwise, yeah.
Is that bad news?
Yeah, ancient legend has it that if you walk around a church, Widdershins, you can summon the devil.
Is that true?
Yeah, what's that noise?
What? He's here already though.
I'm a bit worried now. Oh, very good. See you next time.
Nottingham Trent University, working with you. Proud sponsors of Working Week.